Tales Told, Mid-Journey.
In a world where the horizon bleeds hues of a dying sun, and cities are but shadows against the scarlet canvas of dusk, there stood a sentinel, her silhouette a stark line against the ever-darkening sky. Her name was Arinna, the guardian of the fractured realms, a title born out of a legacy steeped in valor and the ashes of fallen stars. She was the last of the Skylar Knights, warriors chosen by celestial alignments to protect the realms of men and myth. Arinna's story began at the edge of the known world, in the ancient city of Solis, where buildings climbed towards the heavens, striving to touch the light of the twin suns. As a child, Arinna had been trained in the arts of war and wisdom, her heart syncopated with the rhythms of a universe much older than her city's stone foundations. The blade she carried, Lumineth, was forged from a star fragment, its glow a soft whisper of light in the encroaching gloom. The realms had not always been fractured. Legend told of a time when the earth was whole, and the sky unbroken by the tears of the cosmos. But that era ended in a cataclysm known as the Sundering, when the veil between dimensions was torn and darkness bled into the tapestry of reality. Arinna's forebears had fought, their lives a bulwark against the chaos, a legacy of light against the shadow. Now, as Arinna gazed across the Barren Veil, the no-man's land that stretched between her world and the next, her eyes hardened by battles past, saw the flickers of movement, shadows twisted in the fading light, forming shapes that were neither human nor creature, beings that belonged to the darkness between stars. The air grew thick, charged with the power of unworldly entities clawing their way through the weakened seams of the world. Tonight, Arinna knew, would be the eve of the Great Alignment, an event prophesied to either seal the fractures or doom the realms to eternal shadow. Her role was clear, etched into the very steel of Lumineth, the blade that could channel the celestial energies, the only force potent enough to mend the broken veil. As twilight deepened, Arinna descended the ancient steps of Solis, her figure a lone sentinel against the armies of the void. Each step was a promise, a vow spoken in the silent language of the knights, to protect, to fight, to restore. At the foot of the steps where the world seemed to end, Arinna raised her blade, its light a piercing star against the darkness, a beacon for the lost and a warning to the encroaching dark. The battle that night was not just of blade and shadow, but of wills as old as time. Arinna fought, her every strike a verse in the song of the cosmos, her defense a dance of light. The air crackled with magic, ancient and raw, as Lumineth sang its piercing note, the sound of stars being born. And when the first light of dawn touched the horizon, the fractures in the veil shimmered, beginning to heal, reflecting not just the light of a rising sun, but the hope of all realms. In the aftermath, Arinna stood once more atop the steps of Solis, her eyes not just seeing, but witnessing the rebirth of light over the land. Her duty fulfilled, the legend of the Skylar Knight would live on, a tale of a warrior who walked in starlight, whose courage rekindled the flames of dawn in the hearts of all who dared to dream of worlds beyond.